Hi, welcome to the third episode of Zeo Fucks Given,
Oh,
my podcast.
it's the third episode.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
I know. You're my third best friend.
Oh, thank you.
That's not true. You're like way behind.
Behind you?
Yeah.
Cool. I don't give a shit, but
Yeah.
yeah, thank you though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh shit.
Hello.
Okay, now we're talking. So, Yashar is from Iran.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me about everything about Iran. Can I tell you my impression about Iran?
Yeah, go ahead.
Not good.
Yeah, of course not.
Not
yeah.
good. Yeah. Do you want to clear some rumors and?
No, I don't know. I don't care because it's hard to correct every individual out there who is already like influenced by the so-called like the atmosphere that's created by the media, social media, and by what you see. So it's really, really exhausting to like try to sort of like create a good image, and
Yeah.
then you end up being like a little bit of a kiss ass when you try to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of self-loathing Iranians who, unfortunately, they suffer from self-esteem issues. They've been oppressed by the homeland, and then here they're being judged. So they play this character of like, I'm such a nice guy, let me just get down there and, lick your testicles for you. And I don't like that. I think it's not only you're not sort of like changing anyone's minds, but you look like a kiss ass. That's why I would.
Can you give me a good example of those? You're talking about Iranians in America
Yeah, they
want to fit in.
Well, yeah, but mind you, like I don't know the exact numbers, but the census confirmed that they're either the second or the first highest taxpayers in the United States per
Oh, really?
capita. Yeah.
I thought you guys don't pay
So,
tax like we never
No,
pay
no,
tax.
no. They pay a lot of tax because they make a lot of money. They have good jobs, good professions, extremely educated. But there has always been a sense of like shame and self-loathe, and it's because of what they show on TV. And some of what it's been, broadcasted is unfortunately true, but it doesn't mean all of us are like subscribed to that ideology or that's our sort of like
For me, it's
lifestyle.
not really. I mean, I pay very little attention to current events, so I don't even. I know there's a protest and everything. I'm just talking about in general over the years.
Uh-huh.
Like for me,
Like what?
like the whole Middle East is a whole chunk, which is
Okay.
not the correct way to look at something.
Yeah,
There are a lot of nuances, obviously, but I'm sure there are people from other places of the world think Asia is just this one big thing.
Well,
You know what I mean?
interestingly, in Iran, when we say Asia, we see ourselves as
Really,
Asians.
I don't
because-
see you guys as
Yeah.
Asians.
No.
Yeah.
The way it's understood in the United States or outside of Iran is like, I guess if you have certain features that belong to people on the east side of Asia, like Mongolia, China, Japan, those people are categorically Asians. But if you look
Yeah.
at the continent of Asia, it includes many countries, including
Right.
Iran and Turkey.
So what is it like
Lebanon.
growing up there? I kind of want to know.
I grew up right after the Iranian Revolution, so it was a very, difficult time actually, and it was a time that the society and the political system was completely changed, and the new sort of like government or regime or system was trying to enforce its own values, and it was like societal values, economic values, but they were not quite like economically socialist country. It was still a free market, and that led to a lot of corruption later on because the system was not fully open. And
I kind of want to get a sense of like just personal story, right?
Okay.
Like what kind of family are you from? Are they poor, rich, middle class,
middle class.
working class? Like what do your parents do?
My dad and mom, they met at a school. They were both engineers. Yeah,
Okay, what kind of
my
engineer?
dad is a mechanical engineer. My mom is an agricultural engineer.
Right.
So then, but my mom later on became a writer. She's actually pretty well known back in Iran.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
what
yeah.
Kind of what kind of writer is she?
Fictions.
Okay.
Yeah, she writes like very good fictions, and it
She's like
just
a New York Times bestseller kind of
in in
type
in the,
in
in the
Iran.
Iranian context, she was like one time was best, but she always made the list.
Interesting. So people,
Yeah.
if you mention her name, people would know who she is.
Nowadays, after the social media started like expanding, people read less.
They stop
But
giving
let's
a
say
shit.
20 years ago or even 10, but people who are maybe 10 years younger than me and above, they know her.
Right.
Yeah, but very young ones, like in the teenagers, early like 20s. But back then, like even teenagers read her books or young
Interesting.
people. Yeah, it's very interesting how she didn't even work in her major or field, but she was always reading like novels, fictions. We have like a huge translation industry in Iran, so everything is translated.
Right.
And even to this day, one of the rooms in our house is like packed with with books. She wants to get rid of them, but she can't because she has like feelings for each book. And
Right.
but that sort of like galvanized her sort of like ability to write.
Interesting, because this is what I kind of want to ask, and I don't want to sound very ignorant, right?
No, it's
so,
okay.
So a lot. So I understood a lot of the reasons behind the protest. I don't know if it's still going on.
Oh, the most
yeah,
recent
the most
protest.
recent one is,
Yeah.
is on women's rights.
Yes, of course.
And of course, I have this very blurry, maybe prejudiced impression on the whole, just not Iran, Middle East.
Yeah.
About women's rights there. But it sounds like your mother was educated, an engineer, pretty renowned like writer. So I kind of want to know, like, over the generation, from your mother's generation to your generation to the current one, has things changed for the better or for the worse?
Oh, okay. That's actually a very good question. By the way, none of what I'm about to say is gonna be funny.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
Okay.
But so
All right.
and also like just delete most of them because I don't
All
want to
right.
get into trouble.
Okay.
Anytime I'm traveling there, but I'm just gonna tell you just.
Yeah.
So before the Iranian Revolution, we had a king. He was a secular. We had a secular monarchy.
Right.
So the king sort of like granted women voting rights. He made women's education compulsory. So if a family wouldn't send their girls to school, they would get punished or they would get arrested.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't. I don't think the law got enforced, but still, he was a very progressive man. He granted, like, I think if I'm correct, like Iranian women got the right to vote before women in Switzerland. Granted, women
So
in
what year
Switzerland
was
they
that?
started like in the 70s to vote. Either
So when the law was introduced, what
the
year
law,
was that?
I'll tell you exactly.
Or around what time?
Exactly. So I want to like convert the Iranian calendar into the sort of like American calendar. I'll tell you. Okay, so I'm 60 years ago.
60 years ago.
60
so
years
it's about
ago.
the 60s,
Yeah, in
right?
the 60s,
In the 60s.
the early 60s.
The
Yeah,
early 60s. Okay.
he granted women the right to vote.
When did your mother like what time did she grow up in the 60s?
Oh yeah, she grew up in the 60s. She was I think she was born in the 50s.
Okay. So it's
But-
about when your mother was
Oh
getting
yeah,
educated.
when my mom grew up,
It was good.
The schools were prevalent.
Yeah.
People, most European countries and North American universities, they had like a branch of like school there in Iran, and also the Shah of Iran used to give scholarships to people to go overseas, study, come back.
Okay.
And in that era, and at one point, I think it was during the 70s, the Iranian economic growth was the GDP grew by 70%. That's just unprecedented.
Right.
And of course, it was mainly due to like oil exports.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a lot of people, a lot of people got education, and so he's fully modernized the country.
Right.
Now, how and why the revolution happened, that's a long, boring story. I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah.
But afterwards, an Islamic government took over, and they took most of those rights that he had granted, and they enforced the dress code on women.
Right.
Now, one thing they did, which is considered shooting themselves in the foot, is they kept the schools and the universities open.
Yeah.
They built more schools,
Yeah.
and they made Islamic schools, and they started this campaign called literacy jihad,
Literacy jihad. What
which
does
they
that mean?
forced people who couldn't read or write to go and learn to read and write.
Okay.
So basically, the literacy rate went through the roof. But then at the same time, the job opportunities were limited for women. So they encouraged women to stay home and work, unlike Shah. But then women who didn't have an opportunity to go to work, because the sort of like the market was more open to men, that made women study harder. So at one point, the university population in Iran was 70% women.
Wow.
Now it's 67% or 66%. I'm not like really good with the numbers.
Right.
So these graduating engineers and dentists and doctors are all women now.
Yeah.
So you can't deny the jobs, because all of these guys, most guys don't have those technical expertise. Or
Interesting.
so that somehow, by one of the unintentional consequences of them trying to like make everybody literate so people can read Quran and all, actually backfired,
Because they also read other stuff.
they read other
started
stuff,
learning
and they all went
English,
to, and then and then they built all of these like universities that they are not as good as the universities Shah had built, but still you can go there, and when you come, it's an accredited university that's
Yeah.
universally accepted.
Right.
So now we have a lot of like engineers who are women, and the movement you see, yes, it was mainly started because of what the morale police did to that young girl because of
Yeah.
her headscarf not being like properly worn. But that's one aspect of what women want. That's just a tiny aspect. They want full freedom.
Yeah.
They want to be counted as first-class citizens, and that's why they took it out like that. And what's interesting is, I mean, I'm not bragging, but 10 years ago, I told my mom,
Yeah.
because there were similar protests regarding something else. I told my mom, and there were 15-year-olds on
Yeah.
the streets, and I told my mom, like, imagine 10 years from now, there will be more, because Iran is a country with 85 million people. Well, granted, like 7-8 million live outside of Iran. But anyway, I said like millions of new like teenagers like are gonna join the sort of like protesters, and they're gonna be dissatisfied. They're not gonna be any jobs. They're gonna be then the restrictions are pretty pre-medieval. Like they could enforce it in the late
I want to
70s.
know what's the general population's reaction to this movement. It was widely supported,
It was widely supported.
or is it kind of like a mixed?
No, it was
people-
widely
yeah.
supported, but what I can tell without having an access to stats is that great majority, their hearts are with the protesters, and they also, most of them, they also have similar demands from the government. But many people are scared to come out because they're
Yeah.
gonna they could get arrested, they could get shot, they used BB guns and shot people in the eyes.
Jeez.
So
You
yeah,
can blind someone. with that.
a lot of people got blinded. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is like, yeah, a lot of people want to come out, but they're scared. So the ones who are out are really fed up, and they're young and angry. And where is Green?
It kind of reminds me of what happened in China when you say the whole education movement for women kind of backfired because they can't
Okay.
be silent. They can't be silenced anymore.
Yeah.
So in China, we have this one-child policy, which
Yeah.
is not a feminism policy. It's actually quite cruel to a lot of women. So what
Okay.
happened is, before that policy was introduced, Chinese people were just like any countries. They have multiple kids, and then some scholar decided they think China's problem is there are too many people and very little resources. So the idea is one family can only has one child, and China is a very sexist country, so they
So
always
they-
want a son.
They aborted.
They would abort the girl,
Yeah.
and then sometimes if they have a second kid, the local government have quota. They will send people in their house and drag them to get an abortion.
Oh wow.
And they will do things like confiscated, your cow and pigs and the
Oh, in
livestock.
in the rural area.
Yeah, if you work for the government or any job that's associated with the government, which in the past almost all jobs associated with the government, you could lose your job for doing that. But even by doing that, what happened is a lot of family only have one child, and that child
is
is
a son.
it's a girl,
Is it-
right?
Oh.
Sometimes it's like, okay, you only can have one, like they would be more sexist if they have multiple kids. They probably wouldn't send the girl to school, or
yeah.
they wouldn't pay as much as attention to the girl. But
Oh,
now you don't have options left.
because you only have one.
You only have one. So then girls start to get educated, they start to take violin classes, and they start to treat the girl the same, because what else, what other
Yeah,
choices
yeah.
do they have?
That's
So
very interesting.
so it nurtured like a few generations of girls who actually go to school and very competent. And just like Iran, I actually did not know that's a fact in Iran too, is there are more girls in college than boys. And then certain colleges will actually lower their standards for men because, for example, if you're a girl, you have to be like score like 85 points. If you're a guy, you only need to score 70 points. Because
Interesting.
if they hold the same standard for both, you're gonna have a very disproportionate
Number of
gender
females.
equation.
Yeah.
It would be all female.
And
Like
then at some point you need to do like a ginger reveal party. No, I know. Okay. Yeah.
I know, no.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of what happened, and now the problem is nobody want to have kids anymore.
Yeah.
Women don't want to have children because
They have careers.
they have careers, and then it's still a lot of the law, the society, and everything. It's against them, and it will make it worse if they have children. Then
Interesting.
they were stuck in the family. The career is going nowhere, and then they end up just become a housewife. So now there's a population problem in China. When we don't have enough young people anymore.
Oh, wow.
We're going towards what Japan and Korea is going to, is we're gonna have a huge age, like an old age society.
Oh, okay. Like a negative population growth.
Not negative, but it's very, very. The situation is very bad
Oh,
at the moment. So the government is like, okay, now you can have 2 kids. That's a few years ago,
but nobody wants to have two kids. Not that nobody, many people.
and now you can have 3 kids.
Oh, wow.
And then like nobody want to have children. It's like it's a society with a lot of pressure, and it costs a lot of money to raise a child. They're just fed up, and then I don't think that's gonna stop anytime soon. But I am one of the. I know that because my family, at least on my father's side, is very sexist.
Okay.
I think if I have any male siblings, I would not receive the same.
Do you have any siblings?
I don't. I'm the
Oh.
only child.
Okay, so you
I am that
you're a part of
generation.
that, yeah, generation.
I like I said, I'm from a working class family. I went to school. I have like violin class for like 8 years, like private tutors and all that.
What were your parents do?
My parents are like, my dad has a string of failed illegal business, like he was smuggle tobacco.
Oh,
And
okay.
he would smuggle like cigarettes. My mother also has a string of failed businesses, like clothing shop.
So they're like business people.
They're like small business owners.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but my dad gambles a lot, so we don't have much money, but we're not like struggling that
No,
much.
no, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
middle class.
Not very low. Like I would say, like a top tier of the working class.
I hear
like I
you.
never starve, and
I hear you.
I always go to school. But if I want something, I won't get it.
I hear
You
you.
know
Got
what I
it,
mean?
got it. Yeah, yeah.
That toy just is not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. Got it.
Yeah. So any of the thing that you said, is that gonna increase your chance of fatwadom?
What?
Fatwa.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not gonna get fatwad for whatever
For
you
whatever
just
I
said.
said?
Yeah.
Nah,
Okay.
not really. But I rather like because it's not funny,
Yeah.
We're supposed to say funny things.
Okay. Is
So
there
let's
any
say if
funny
we
things you want to say?
select like, no, you should ask questions. Ask topical.
What's your first impression of me?
When I saw you,
Yeah.
do you really want to know?
Yes. Oh my God, I'm nervous now.
So, yeah, you were very friendly and nice and all. And then I was like,
Ugh.
another one of those networkers.
Am I a networker?
Not saying
Yeah.
I work, but I'm like another one of those who wants to like just like make comedy happen by like making friends, bullshit, shit like.
Ah,
But-
you
but
think I'm a
then-
climber?
Climb,
Yeah.
but when I look at climbers, most of them are like our favorite friend. They're like a lukewarm balloon, meaning like in the middle there's no substance. It's just like people with this happens a lot in comedy, that you see people who work, but they are not. I mean, I'm not being judgmental, but they're not smart. They're not educated. They don't read. They're not updated. And they're not improving their lives in any form or shape. But with like the most, the simplest types of jokes, they have an act, but because they're really good at marketing
Yeah.
and attacking moving forward,
Right.
and they also like are financially secure. They don't need to work, so they have more time, and they end up doing some venues. But when they open their mouth and they tell a couple of jokes, you can tell this person is not really deep, or the comedy is like what I call it is like taint comedy. Taint the area between testicles and anus. It's taint comedy, and not because it's dirty, but it's like really hacky stuff and all.
Right.
But then, but then when I saw your act, that changed my mind. I was like, no, okay, she's not like just networking. She's genuinely like nice. She's interested in making friends, and it's not like just like there to hang out or like be nice and all. But yeah, I'm a very judgmental person. When I see someone,
Oh, I gather
immediately,
that. Yeah.
and I usually judge people like very negatively, and then I regret later. I was like, wow, so and so was really nice. Like, why was I thinking like he or she was an asshole or
Yeah.
was this and that?
You would know I'm not naturally nice to everybody because
Say it again.
you would know I'm not naturally nice to everybody because I hate Steve Lage.
Yeah. Let's not.
Yeah, I will. I
Yeah.
will do
What
that.
was your
on-
first impression of me?
I think you're really funny. I think you're really funny. You did a joke about something about why there's so many good Iranian wrestlers because you guys are offsprings of rapists.
Oh yeah.
And then you
Genghis
said
Khan and, yeah.
you said if you're a rapist, you have to be good at wrestling.
Yeah,
And I just love that joke.
As the offsprings of those rapists.
Yeah, but personality wise, in the beginning, I thought you just kind of like a lot of comics I know, like kind of shy. I thought you were shy and
Oh yeah.
kind of just like reserved. But now I know you. You just couldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And you are a hater.
I think more than like
You're hate.
more than like being shy, I'm like I don't want to like have any
Yeah.
friends.
You don't want to have any friends.
Like not say friend, like yeah, like I want to just go home and paint.
Right.
I want to go home and like
Are you introverted? Would you say?
I would say yes or no. Yes and no. I see those labels. Sometimes I have a hard time
Accepting
like,
them.
placing them on myself or others. Like, am I introverted? Like many times I'm quiet. I don't want to talk. But then when I talk a lot.
Yeah.
But then like I really enjoy my time at home. Like especially ever since I discovered painting.
Right.
Like I want to watch a video of some like guy in Romania who you can tell he's super uber depressed. In 2 days he's gonna shoot himself and kill himself, but he's a good painter, and then you can learn something from that motherfucker before he takes his own life.
Right. What is your take on this whole tortured artist archetype? Whether they're comedians, painters, musicians, and stuff like that. Since you mentioned somebody like that.
Based on what I've observed and what I've read, but I'm gonna set aside the anecdotes and
Yeah.
I just wanted to. I think people who have life experiences, they can create better products.
Yeah.
In art and outside of art.
Right.
Like if you have some artistic talent, but it's also fueled by life experiences, and life experiences are not necessarily pleasant. So you find people who have gone through many difficulties, they have gone through a lot of challenges, and they are miserable, but the compilation of all of those would make them bring out something really nice, really beautiful. Paint it, or on stage you see most of these people are really pained. People who are like good comedians that
Yes.
you see, you go, wow, I can see this person's not happy, but this is good.
Should we? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a lot of people romanticize that aspect of it, and that's concerning to me.
I think a lot of people fake it, or a lot of people misplace it. Like
Right.
there are people who have had difficult lives and they have had horrifying experiences, but they have zero talents in art. So if you bring all of those emotions, but they don't have the tools to translate it into, or do you say transform it into,
Yeah.
a product, whether it's a story, your words, or a piece of art, like, I don't know, sculpture, painting. So then it gets stuck. So emotions or experiences would come in handy if you have the skills to lay it out. However, I think one problem nowadays is that you see a lot of these testicle face, fat hipster rich kids who have trust funds. And
Let's
they
talk about
feel-
hipsters for a second. You have a
Yeah.
lot of, you want to be funny. This is the time for you.
So they have they come from money, they come from comfort, which is perfectly fine. I wish I had that background.
Yeah.
But they feel guilty and they like fantasize being like the fucking, the George Carlin of comedy, or what's the guy before? There was another
Richard
one.
Pryor?
Richard Pryor. No.
Yeah.
The other one. There was
Lenny
one that-
Bruce?
Lenny Bruce. Like
Yeah.
a lot of them want to be. Even like they cast this actor to do Lenny Bruce in the Marvelous Miss Marvelous Miss
Maisel?
Maisel.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And he was completely a testicle face guy, and you could see like he has never ever faced any adversities. That wasn't like a pained artist.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh yeah, oh, he's in Goish, we say it like this, and he just tensed up his lips like the vagina of a
He's
mule.
sucking a butthole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so there are a lot of fantasies about like, oh, I why am I not? So then they start like, I'm sure some people have challenges, but some of them they start faking like, yeah, man, I'm always thinking. Well, everybody's
The
always
first
thinking.
thing they fake is they dress like homeless people.
That's true.
But in a fashionable way.
In a fashion.
In a fashionable way.
Yeah.
Like their tattered flanner. It's
Yeah.
like $150.
Anytime I see a guy like that, what I do is I get close and sniff them.
You sniff them?
If they don't sniff like shit, that means
Yeah.
he's not homeless.
I know that's what you do every day. You just go around and sniff people.
No, just like when you see somebody who's like,
Yeah.
yeah, man. So I was like, I'm broke. And you go and find the guy's Facebook page and go, like, last summer, you and your entire family, you were like
In Bali.
like like Amsterdam, and you guys went to Venice, and you guys went to like London, then you guys went to like European tours.
Or they pretend this like tiny home, I live in a van, right? And their
Yeah.
van costs like $100,000.
Exactly.
It's custom made.
Exactly.
It has a
Which is-
jacuzzi inside.
Yeah, there's no shame in being like rich. Like, listen, like I am way richer than maybe billions of people on the
Of
planet,
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are people who are way more successful. But I don't know. It's just when I see like this. Yeah, man. I just have a lot of thoughts, and I'm trying to like this joke I did. I'm an artist. You're just a bloated turd. You need to go and stop drinking and get on a fucking treadmill, bitch.
Is that all? I think there are more.
To hipsters?
Yes.
That's pretty much it.
This is a little poem written by Yashar Kafi to all hipsters.
Hipsters?
Yeah.
I don't have a poem.
No,
like
that's the
poem.
poetry. I think
That was
I
the
heard.
poetry. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, there's no
It's like
like
an Allen Ginsberg style poem that you just did. All the little rant you had before.
okay, so like
Yeah.
together that was like, yeah, I mean, I have nothing against like hipsters and all, but I think when
But
an appearance is created and a story is fabricated to elicit a particular type of like response and generate like fake respect amongst peers, that's a person you should flush him down the toilet like a turd. That's a hipster right
who
there.
else you have a problem with?
Um,
Like I said before, I am a hater.
Yeah.
Until I met you, I'm like, oh my
oh my
god.
no, you have no idea.
I'm like so wholesome. I feel
Yeah.
I feel like Oprah Winfrey after I met you.
no, you're not
I feel
there.
like
no.
I feel like I feel like I started to like watching Friends after
Yeah.
you, just
Now,
for
I think you also hide it better. You're more diplomatic.
really.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I hide it.
You
No.
don't hide it.
Yeah, I do sometimes.
Sometimes I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah,
There's a thing called social contract, Yashar. You know what that means?
yeah, yeah. The what was the guy's name?
Jacques
No, no, no. Adam
Smith?
Adam Smith, Social Contract.
No, it was
Oh, okay.
another philosopher. Is a French person. Rousseau? I don't know how they would pronounce his name.
Okay, let's look it up.
Anyways,
Anyways, yeah.
I care about social contracts sometimes, but you are just another animal.
Social. What's the agreement between people and their government that defines their rights and duties? It can be explicit and can apply a variety of contexts like workplace, a culture, and yeah. No, I mean I'm bound by the social by the John Locke.
John Locke.
John Locke, the testicle face, British.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else you have a problem with? It's funny. It's kind of like a exposure therapy every time I talk to you. Does it make sense? I will get together with you, and then you will shit on a certain person or a group of people
And then you
or
join.
society. No. I join or I listen and giggle, and then it feels very cathartic.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like it's kind of like having a hot bath or
Because
like
I
a,
do it for you.
like like a
yeah.
detox session. So it's-
Vicariously through me.
yeah, vicarious through you, I have released all the toxicity
Yeah.
that's in the darkness of my heart.
Who else do I hate?
Oh, you hate a lot of people. We can't name names. Let's not name names. Let's just generalize them into
Okay.
a certain group.
Well, more or less, they fall into the category of hipsters.
Ah.
But also.
But also, you will send me videos every day.
But I can't.
Yeah.
No,
You
but,
will send me videos every day of sexy comedians.
hacky comics.
Yeah, but they're also sexy. Or that's one of their selling points, right?
Yeah. They sell that too.
They are like they will have a comedy poster,
Uh-huh.
and then the first thing you see is the cleavage.
The cleavage, yeah.
Right? And then you see the show date and the venue.
Yes.
And the
yeah,
ticket
yeah.
price.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
a
It's
smart
$20 bucks, right? But between the left tit and the right tit.
marketing scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like I've never seen male comics do that. Just balls hanging out.
No, male comics, they have their own ways of promoting. We were not supposed to talk about stand-up comedy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hello.
A little bit.
Yeah, I personally I don't like inconsiderate people. People who think like I always do this to my lips when I'm about to impersonate one of these motherfuckers. People who like they think they're the shit just
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
or they're like above everybody else.
Right.
People who are not like genuine, disingenuous people
Interesting.
who like, they do this condescending smile and they think they're very smart. A lot of right wingers are like that. Like they try to like make this smart point and they get like especially like self-loathing minorities.
Self-loathing minorities. I think we
Minorities.
touched upon it a little bit in the beginning when you talk
Yeah.
about Iranians, but if you want to dig into it deeper.
Well, like people who immigrated to the United States and they come from money
Yeah.
or they come from certain social skills that made them super comfortable real fast here.
Like computer science major.
Something
who's
like
really
that,
good. Yeah.
But then what they do is not all, but many like they act conservative and they just talk about like how they're against affirmative action. Look, I'm a minority. I came to this country. I made it big, without like pointing out all of those independent variables that had played a role in their success. And they.
So you don't like Uncle Tom's?
I wouldn't use that expression. Isn't that racist? Can
I
we
think
say
that's
that?
that's what they say about race traders within the black community.
No, for
But
sure.
if we
Yeah,
expand that notion.
No, I know, but I think that like I don't know. I was told we can't use that.
Really?
And have you read the
Ah.
novel?
No.
I read it in Farsi when I was a kid. Actually, that guy helped the slaves to run away. And
Interesting.
now how the terminology turned to describe a person
Ah,
that's the total opposite of the actual character of the book. I don't know how that came about. But
interesting.
anyway, long story short. Anyway, yeah, but I know what you mean. Like, yeah, I came from like Southeast Asia or I came from the Middle East and all. And, but they don't mention that, yeah, you came here, but you had $5 million in your
I
account.
feel like these people are simping hard to prove, they're trying to prove I'm one of the good ones. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, I'm
But
not like
but then
them.
by attacking people who had like
Less.
horrifying history.
In Chinese, we have a term for that.
What is it?
It's called a spiritual whites,
Spiritual
spiritual Caucasian, or
spiritual
spiritual
Caucasian.
whites.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
like you're not white, you're not
But yeah,
a white guy or white person, but in spirit you think
you
you are.
think you
You're
are.
on their side. You're one of them,
Yeah.
and you talk about your peers or other minorities where you're coming from as if they are on the other side.
Other side, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you somehow, yeah.
You're like, hey, get out of my neighborhood.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Because
Yeah.
I'm one of you. We call it spiritual Caucasian.
Spiritual Caucasian. That's a better term than, yeah. So those are the people I kind of hate. Like whenever I'm at the gym, you find someone like, someone from one of those kinds, like sort of like puffing up his chest, trying to act like a football player, but you can tell like this guy's not athletic. Like he's just been to the gym for the past 6, but then they go after some guy who's like white, but like he's pink because he's been drinking or and then they assume because this guy is like white and fat and red, he has a red skin, so then he's MAGA. And then they go like, yeah, really heard what the Democratic Party has done to this. Like, shut up! You came here 5 years ago, You came here 10 years ago. The Democratic Party now, like, is the enemy. Suck a dick. That's the type of person that.
Are you happy?
that
Are you a
one.
happy person?
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends. I would say overall, I am happy with, like, with myself.
Right. But you have so much hate.
Yeah, I mean, we call it hate, but it's not like.
But you're not gonna like shoot up a school or anything. You can't just,
No,
you cannot
it's not that. It's just like mostly like ranting.
you just enjoy verbal mass shooting.
Verbal, like verbal assault and verbal like attacks. But no, I mean, I'm generally speaking, I feel like really happy, especially whenever I am not happy or I'm seeing aspects of my life that I don't like or I think I should not be like where I am regarding certain matters, then somehow from somewhere an example of someone gets presented to me, an empirical example, and then I go like, shit, no, okay, Yashar, shut the fuck up. Don't say anything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna hear talk about specific people. We can beep out the name afterwards.
We can't talk about them.
No, I
Oh,
wanna.
beep out the. My name is.
Yeah.
I hate.
Who's on your shit list?
Pretty much.
If you have a gun, then you can murder someone without going to jail.
No, I don't. I don't have a gun.
Nobody's on that list.
No.
Not even Hitler.
Well, see, that's a hypothesis. Like
Yeah,
that's the worst
yeah.
human being on the planet, and
How about just punch someone in the face and get away with it?
yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, like you're invisible, and then you punch someone. Like, what happened? And then they don't see anything.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
plenty
mean?
of people. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Let's go through them. Let's go through the list.
Sucker punch.
Yeah, let's go through the list. We'll beep out the names.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. Let's
See,
not-
you do care about social contract.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not like, I
You-
don't
you-
walk out with like my penis hanging out. Yeah.
I also kind of want to know about your love life because you never mentioned anything about it.
Yeah, because nothing is happening.
No, what?
Yeah.
How long has it been? How
That-
long has the drought
Oh,
been going on?
It's private, personal. You just delete this one. It's less than a year.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Not that
Why
bad,
would you
no.
want to delete it?
Yeah,
I
I
have
don't
longer
like.
jail than that.
Huh?
I have longer.
No, I know, me too. But still, like, I just don't want to share anything personal. Like, yeah, no. But currently, like, like, I had a date. When was that? It was last week or a week and a half ago, and it we were not the right match, and that's it. And prior to that, I had a couple of other dates.
Do you have a crazy dating story?
Crazy dating story. Yeah. When I was fresh off the boat in Eugene, Oregon, I was a grad student at one point, and I met this girl on Match.com. I went and
Oh,
saw
that's so old school.
old school. Yeah.
Old
This is
school.
before the apps and all.
This
I'm
is like before
47.
10. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I went and met with her, and then she said,
I like when you say about your personal life, you're just
It's
like
just like,
jerking
yeah, okay,
hugs
yeah, yeah.
at him
No,
because of, you
as-
gotta keep doing that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
as soon as I opened my mouth,
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh, you have an accent. Where are you from?" And I said, "But you looked like an American in the photos."
Yeah.
I was like,
She's
"No,
so
I'm from-"
disappointed.
No, she said like you should go back to your country.
What?
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is Oregon.
Oregon, yes.
Oh, but this is not Portland.
No, it wasn't. It was so Eugene, Oregon was like
Very
real-
conservative.
No, Eugene, Oregon, very liberal.
Very
government.
liberal. Okay.
Right next door was Springfield.
That's conservative.
That's the city that I think they made the Simpson after that city.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like meth town or
Okay.
that like I remember at one point like Eugene, Oregon had like 8 homicides in 1 year, and all the 8 homicides were committed by people from Springfield.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
8 homicides.
8
Wow. Okay.
So it's like that kind of. But anyway, yeah, she said, and then she called me a couple of racial names, and that was like
Whoa.
Oh,
like how
yeah.
bad is it? Is it as bad
pretty
as
bad.
Is it bad as bad as Chink? Or worse? Like-
along the lines of that, a little
okay.
worse, yeah.
Okay, the worst version. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
really
yeah.
bad.
And she
Okay.
said like you need to like get the fuck out of this country. You're like, and then I'm like, okay, well, and I felt really bad. Like it was really like
You don't want to punch her in the face?
no, I felt really to be honest, the date was in Springfield.
Yeah.
I was more scared that like what if she attracts a crowd
and then you become the
And then-
ninth homicide.
and then they're gonna beat me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a crazy. So I just
Wow.
ended it and I ran away and I sort of reported it to the website. But it's a very difficult experience. Like it's
Interesting. I've only
yeah.
heard women having bad dating experience and they're like afraid of their date.
Oh.
I never heard any male is like afraid for his life after a date.
Oh yeah, that was like pretty crazy. But in retrospect, because then later on I blamed myself. Like, why didn't you like set her straight? Why didn't you?
It's always
say
afterwards. right?
afterwards? But now, like in retrospect, I'm like, well, you were like 20 something. You were young. You were just new to this country. You didn't even know like what to say. You could barely. I mean, I could.
Did
speak
that
English.
hurt you? What she said?
Oh yeah, it did. It was very hurtful.
Okay.
Because I'm like, it's not our fault that the following stuff. I mean, like, we're oppressed by a government. That's like me coming to you and say, like, hey, why don't you like overthrow
Stop
like,
COVID.
no, why don't you
Yeah.
overthrow the communist government? And so they're like not like ruining the entire world. But what, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, what do you
Yeah.
suppose? I mean, you might have had like even issues as a reporter, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But then me like just blaming you because you're from that country, like that's just pure ignorance.
Has that only happened once in your life?
Oh yeah, that's happened to me that one time. Yeah. That's it.
Is she
That's-
good looking?
Well, she looked okay, yeah. She looked good.
Yeah.
Actually, she was very good looking.
Yeah.
Why should I lie? Yeah.
You should look her up. I bet she's dead by now.
I don't remember her name. What was her name? Yeah. Back in the day. It's pretty crazy, fucked up.
Interesting. So for me, it's imagine you have a personal life. It's crazy.
I really don't have one.
Yeah. There are 2 people, you and Joe Memente.
Mm-hmm.
It's just every time I think about, oh, you guys have a personal life, have dates. I was just like, ugh. I just shudder. to think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you like see me at a date, you get like freaked out.
Not freaked out. It just I don't know. It's kind of like you don't want to you want to picture your parents having sex.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
But you're not my parent.
That's weird. Yeah.
But I have this similar feeling. You and Joe.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, my person. I don't know if this is considered personal. Like I wake up, go to the gym, come home, shower, breakfast, painting, jokes. Nowadays, because you were kind enough to recommend me to do those talking head videos,
Yeah.
I come up with strategies, and then those videos are. I mean, I like them. They're doing
Yeah.
well, I think.
Yeah. I think you should keep doing it.
Yeah, and then after that, I go to work, and then I come home, I pass out, and the next day everything starts again. And the nights I'm not working, I do mics or shows.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the simple life of Yashar.
yeah, that's it.
How would you like to be remembered when you die?
I don't know. I want to be remembered, but I don't exactly know how. I want people to look at something and say, "Hey, this is so and so." I want a piece of me be kept, not my body or whatever, but like some art or a set or like a movie, a green room or something.
I want to hire a comedian that you really hate to like host your funeral.
My funeral. Well, how do you know I'm gonna go first? I mean, I'm older, but
Yeah, you're gonna go first. I think so.
no, you never know.
Yeah, I think you're gonna go first. If you go first, I'm gonna hire.
If I go first, you're
I'm
gonna.
gonna hire the person. We're not gonna name names, so we both know who the person is to
What if
headline.
that person goes?
No, we're gonna have a whole lineup. Actually, we're gonna have a whole
people?
lineup.
No, but how do you know those people are gonna? Because I know the people. They're like super unhealthy and.
Oh, so you think all the people you hate would die before you?
No. The ones I hate.
You're looking at the people that you
They
hate.
mostly happen to be super unhealthy people with drinking habits,
Right.
and they smoke a lot and they drink a lot.
Whoever survived,
Whoever survived, okay, fine. So, well, I mean,
gonna
even
hunt
if
them
all of the
down.
ones that I currently know die, I'm sure like
I can find
I'm
some
gonna
new
find
ones.
some
Second
new
generation.
people to hate, and then they're gonna be much younger.
You know,
than
this is what
this.
I'm gonna do. Okay,
Okay.
you're gonna die, right? And I'm gonna be sad, and then I'm gonna go find some open micers that you don't know them. I'm like, this guy reminds me of that guy Yashar used to hate, and I would just put a lineup of second generation
Comedians,
hacks.
yeah, hacks, yeah.
Yeah, the young hacks.
They
Young
should do
open.
Tinder jokes. Definitely, I want to hear a couple of Tinder jokes.
No. They will start with like a hacky Middle East joke.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I would say if you hire like Verzi triplets to write for them.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
would be good,
Why do you think they will still be alive when you die?
Oh, they're like much younger. Than
Okay, and they work out. Yeah.
They're much younger. Yeah, they're
Can we express our love
for
towards the
Verzis.
Verzi triplets?
I still wear their T-shirt when I go to the gym.
Yeah, I love the Verzi triplets.
We all love Verzi triplets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They write the best jokes for you that you wouldn't use.
they write the best jokes, and also like Mitch.
Yeah.
I noticed he's a very sensitive guy.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't look like it, but
He's a gentleman.
yeah, I mean, he acts like all tough and like fucking macho.
Yeah.
But I
Deep
mean,
inside.
deep inside, like one time, I don't want to explicitly like go through the issue, but
Yeah.
something was going on, and I saw his face, and I was like, wow, this guy's like such a nice guy. Like he's really like he's empathetic, He had a lot of empathy, and I was like, wow, I didn't expect that. I thought he's just some douchebag.
Yeah.
Some douchebag who lifts weights and writes stupid, dumb jokes for me. But then when I saw
Camel
him,
Dilf.
Camel Dilf and shit like that,
And
yeah.
Turban Outfitters.
Totally like insensitive and dumb stuff. But then when I saw that, I observed, like this one observation I had, I realized like, no, wow, this guy should have grown up with like good parents. And
This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna arrange your funeral, right? Because I'm a show producer. I'm gonna produce it as it's a real show, and then I'm gonna hire like a second generation of open micers who are the replicas of the people that you used to hate, but they're all dead now. And they would do hacky, and then the Verzi triplets would write all the jokes for them, and the Verzi will be the person who, when they close the casket, they put a rose. They put each of them put one
One rose
rose
inside,
on
yeah.
it, or 3 rows, and get you buried. And then after we incinerate you, I'm gonna throw the ash down the toilet at the
Fourth
whole
wall.
fourth wall.
Yeah, North Hollywood fourth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was such an
Isn't that
honor.
poetic?
It's amazing.
Isn't
yeah.
that beautiful?
That's very nice of you to think that far.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I just slowly see the water spiral down.
That's nice.
And the
yeah.
last bit of Yashar just
Just
disappeared.
disappeared.
You know, the shits and piss of the open micers who probably gonna kill themselves like 2 weeks after.
Yeah, that's funny. That's good. Very thoughtful of you.
I know.
Yeah.
I care about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. What a way to go.
Okay, your turn. This is how we're gonna end this. If I die before you,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna die before him. But let's say that happens, right? You're in charge of producing my funeral. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to go to, let's say if it's in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Koreatown
Yes.
and I'm going to rent one of those karaoke places.
Yes.
And that place should be Korean.
Yes.
So I
not
display,
Chinese.
No, not Chinese. So I
Yeah.
can display like some sort of ignorance.
Yeah.
And then there's a karaoke place that I've seen these like these small mini buses stop by, and then
Yeah, yeah.
girls with like short skirts.
They have the
like
little like LED
hookers.
lights. Yeah.
They come in, and I don't know if they're prostitutes or not, but they go in.
But you dress like
Yeah.
those.
So I'm gonna get a bunch of those, and I'm gonna get like your favorite person to come in,
Yeah, I know.
and then we're gonna like have your ashes in a box.
Yeah.
Just all nice drinks,
Yeah.
and then your favorite person sings
Yeah.
and karaoke, everyone.
Yeah.
And then after the whole thing is over, your favorite person will go home with two of the girls. And then
Oh yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
No, I know who it is. I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I take the ashes,
Yeah.
and what do I do with the ashes?
Okay, this is a few ideas for you.
Mhm.
You can either have my favorite person snort my ashes like cocaine off of the ass of the girls that you hired,
No,
or
yeah.
you can mix my ash with like roofie, like day rape drug.
And then give it to your
So
favorite person.
so my favorite person can use it to roofie other girls.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think I just give the ashes to your favorite person and tell him, let's do something with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think he's gonna do with it?
He's gonna probably forget it in his car. Hey man.
Well, this favorite person is a comedian who I hate his guts.
Yeah, but I like him.
I know.
I do.
I think you like him just to spite me.
No, I actually like him. He came to my shows, and he's a good guy.
Well, I hope he got hit
And
by a
he
bus.
supports my art, and he says complimentary things, and he's a good musician.
Okay, we might need to cut that part out.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
that's our episode.
All
Yeah,
right.
We hope we get
Thank
something
you so
out
much.
of
Thanks
this.
for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Yeah,
And now we're gonna wait for somebody else, and we're gonna play some board game.
Horror.
Horror.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.